Once upon a time, two sisters lived in a village. The older sister worked hard at the spinning wheel every day. She was a very hard-working girl. However, the younger sister was very lazy. One day, the older sister was sitting by the well. She was working at her spinning wheel. Her hands got sweaty and dirty. She tried to clean them in the well, but she accidentally dropped the shuttle into the water. She started to cry. The poor little girl dived into the well to get the shuttle. As she fell, she became senseless. Thus, she dropped to the bottom of the well. When she awoke, she found herself sitting in a meadow. The sun was shining brightly. There were flowers everywhere. Across the meadow, she saw some apple trees. The trees were full of apples. As she looked up, each of the trees called out,
"Shake me! Shake me! The apples are all ripe!"
So she shook the trees. The apples fell like rain. She gathered them in a heap. Then she came to a little house. There, she saw an old woman. The woman had large teeth. The girl was afraid. The girl was about to run away, but the old woman called her.
"Why are you running away? Don't be scared. I am Mrs. Elizabeth. I need a maid who can manage my household tasks, like cooking, laundry, washing dishes, and cleaning the house. Would you stay with me and help as my servant?"
The old woman spoke very kindly. So, the little girl decided to stay with her. The girl gently said,
"Yes, ma'am. I would like to work as your maid."
Mrs. Elizabeth guided the girl into a room.
"Here is your room, my dear,"
Mrs. Elizabeth said warmly.
"I hope you will be happy here. You can take milk, bread, jam, butter, and whatever you want from the kitchen anytime. You don't need to ask me."
She looked after the old woman. The woman was very happy. The little girl enjoyed good food every day. She had everything she wanted. But one day, she wanted to go home. She hesitantly approached Mrs. Elizabeth and said,
"I want to go back home. I miss my mom and little sister. I can't stay here anymore. You have been very kind to me, and I won't forget you."
So the woman took her to a big door. At once, the door opened. The girl looked out. There was a shower of gold. Mrs. Elizabeth said,
"All of this is for you. You work hard all day. And this is your reward."
The door closed, and the girl found herself in front of her house. Nearby, a rooster crowed.
Your golden girl has come back home.
She entered her house. She told her mother all that had happened. Her mother wished the same luck for her younger daughter as well. So the younger daughter went and sat by the well. She dropped the shuttle into the well. She jumped into the well. She came to the same meadow. She saw the same trees. But she did not shake the trees. She came to stay with Mrs. Elizabeth. But she was very lazy. She did not get up in the morning. She did not work hard like her sister. Mrs. Elizabeth didn't favor her. So, when the girl returned home empty-handed, the rooster started crowing.
Your lazy girl has come back home.
Moral: working hard pays off, but laziness brings regret. Once upon a time, a lion and a lioness lived in a thick forest. The lioness gave birth to 2 cubs. The lion asked her to stay in the den to take care of the cubs while he went out to hunt. One day, the lion couldn't catch any prey, but he found a little fox on his way home. When the lioness saw the baby fox, she felt compassion. She had just become a mother and couldn't eat someone else's little one. She looked at the tiny fox and thought of her own cubs. The lioness decided to care for the baby fox. She said,
He looks so much like our cubs. Let us spare his life and rear him like our own kid.
The lion reluctantly agreed, and from then on, the lion couple raised the baby fox with their other 2 cubs. The 3 young animals grew up playing and eating together like brothers. One day, the children saw an elephant. The cubs were scared to see the giant elephant, and they whimpered back to the den. But the foolhardy fox kid stayed back and growled at the elephant. On reaching home, the fox mocked the lion cubs for their cowardice. Mama Lioness watched all this with concern. That night, when the children slept peacefully, she told her husband,
I don't think baby fox should stay with us now. Today he was teasing our kids. But because they are children, they will soon forget everything and start playing with each other again. But tomorrow, if the fox behaves like that again, the cubs will tear him apart.
The lion nodded in concurrence. Early in the morning, Mama Lioness lovingly called the baby fox and told him,
My kid, we love you a lot, and we are concerned about your welfare. We cannot change the fact that you are a child fox and not a lion. Soon when your brothers grow up, this den will no longer be safe for you. For your happiness and safety, you must join your fox family.
The baby fox understood the matter. One evening, the mother lioness gathered her cubs and said gently,
My dear children, your brother, the baby fox, will be leaving us soon. It's for his own safety.
One of the cubs looked up with tears in his eyes and pleaded,
Mother, please. We can't live without our brother. We love him so much.
The lioness nuzzled her cub and replied softly,
I know you love him, and he loves you too. But he needs to be with his own kind to be safe and happy. We must let him go, even though it hurts.
The baby fox came up to the lioness, his eyes filled with sadness.
Mother,
He said softly,
I love you. And I know you are asking me to leave for my own good. I will go as you wish. But you will always be my mother. I won't ever forget you.
The mother lioness hugged the baby fox gently.
Goodbye, my child. Take care of yourself. And may God bless you,
She said lovingly. With a heavy heart, he departed from his foster family. Mama Lioness was also very sad to see him leaving. But she was content to know that he would be safe somewhere in the forest with his kith and kin. Moral: caring for others sometimes means making sacrifices for their well-being, even if it's difficult to do so.